Hey everybody, it's Matt Mayoko from NBC Sports Bay Area coming at you on Wednesday, the day before the 49ers played the LA Rams in a crucial NFC West matchup on Thursday Night Football. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you get a chance, please subscribe. And we're going to talk about Dre Greenlaw and what it means for the 49ers to get him potentially back on the field. But first, this video is brought to you by Canyon Club Brewery. It's located in Moraga. They have a wide selection of beers, different styles, every style that you could imagine that you would possibly want, as well as great menu items too. Tasty bites on that menu. Canyon Club Brewery, it's a beer garden, a brewery, restaurant, all wrapped up into one, all in a very family-friendly atmosphere in Moraga, California, right down the street from where I live. And it's coming soon to the Livery in Danville. So keep an eye open for that. Should be open pretty soon. I will keep you posted because I know shortly after they open, I might even bust down the doors the day they open. So anyway, Canyon Club Brewery, go there. You'll love it. Okay, so Dre Greenlaw, of course, has been out since he was so excited in the early portion of the Super Bowl. He had gotten off to a really good start, getting in on all the action. He was super hyped up for that game, but he had also been dealing with Achilles injuries or just maybe not injuries, but certainly a lot of discomfort. And there is certainly the line of thinking that practicing on that sponge that the 49ers practiced on at UNLV, where they basically just rolled out sod over the artificial turf at UNLV. And I've seen the videos of how soft it was. There's some thinking that, that potentially led to his Achilles injury. It was the one Achilles that was giving him problems throughout the season, but then kind of like the bilateral thing that Christian McCaffrey dealt with this offseason, maybe favoring the one led to issues with the other. And he was bounding up and down on the sideline. And after the 49ers had a change of possession where they punted, the defense was ready to take the field. Boy, that thing snapped on the sideline, and it was really just an ugly scene. And just you could tell when it happened, like there's something significantly wrong. And of course, it was a torn Achilles. And so he has been out. He's been on the physically unable to perform list, but the 49ers opened the practice window for him several weeks ago. And now it's time for him to get out on the field. And so 49ers really wouldn't have to create a roster spot for him because Ben Barch, the guard who sustained a high ankle sprain in the game Sunday, he will be going on IR. So that definitely opens the door for Dre Greenlaw to get back on the field. And the game the 49ers have been pointing to for quite some time now has been this Thursday night game. They potentially could have brought him back for the game Sunday against the Chicago Bears, but they did not think that that would be wise. And I agree with this to have him play in a game on a Sunday and then turn right around and play in another game on a Thursday. So this way, potentially having him play against the Rams on Thursday. He would then have 10 days off basically until the 49ers return to action the following week. So Dre Greenlaw is one of these guys that he brings it, and the enthusiasm he plays with, the level of aggression he plays with. Could it save the 49ers season? I'm not going to go that far because I think a lot has to go right for the 49ers to get back in this thing and make a run at the NFC West title. I think probably more than likely we will be talking at the end of the year. Well, heck, we're talking about it right now that the 49ers let their chance get away from them when they lost to the Rams in week 3, when they lost to the Cardinals a couple weeks after that, and then, of course, the big loss that started that 3-game losing streak, losing to the Seattle Seahawks. So basically, what I'm talking about, 3 NFC West games that they lost, and that's why they are 1-3 entering this week 15 game, 1-3 within the division with the game against the Rams, and then week 18, final game of the season, the game in Arizona. So the 49ers, they don't, I mean, they kind of have to run the table and they have to get some help. Seattle leads the division right now, and they have back-to-back games in Seattle coming up against Green Bay and against Minnesota. the 49ers' best hopes would be obviously if Seattle loses both of those games. And then they have another game they have at Chicago, and then the last game of the season against Arizona. So, or I'm sorry, against the Rams. So that would be, obviously, 49ers need a lot of help the rest of the way, but they are getting help with Greenlaw. And I think when you look at this season, the 49ers have struggled defensively in the red zone and they've struggled defensively on third downs. And those are two areas where Dre Greenlaw could have been a huge lift to the team, or I should say, having him not out on the field was proved to be a huge detriment to this team because I think it took Devondre Campbell quite a while to kind of find his footing in this defense. And, his coverage skills weren't great early in the season. I do think he's played a lot better here in recent weeks. And then also, Fred Warner. There's no shortchanging the fact that he was really good when the season opened. He sustained that ankle injury against the Patriots, and he just hasn't been as good, nor would you expect him to be as good. He's talked about a couple of weeks ago that he's been playing on basically a fractured ankle, that he needs it to get shot up. He needs the pain-killing injection just to be able to play, which is interesting because he's continued to practice all this time. So he's one of these guys that just simply doesn't want to come off the field. So Dre Greenlaw um, is a player who enters the final year of his contract. He's scheduled for unrestricted free agency. So he wants to get out there and play. He wants to show not only the 49ers, but 31 other teams that he's healthy. And in 2025, he is going to be a big time player. So the 49ers want to get him out there because they know what kind of energy level he brings to the team. Think back to the final game of the 2021 season, regular season. 49ers needed that win. Dre Greenlaw was all over the place, returning off an injury. He was just kind of taking it right to the whistle and the echo of the whistle every play. So he has that kind of aggression that borders on the rules. We saw it in Philadelphia last season where he and Big Dom got into it after Dre Greenlaw body slammed Devontae Smith. So he has this just this infectious level of play. Like I said, the enthusiasm, the aggression, and that's something that 49ers have been lacking this season. A couple weeks ago, I thought with the possibility that Talanoa Hufanga, some people thought that Hufanga wouldn't return this season. Well, he came back last week and he made an immediate impact in that defense just because of his knowledge of the system, keeping the defensive backfield all on the same page. And it was just interesting for me to see that Hufanga, very much in the same boat as Dre Greenlaw, final year of the contract, looking for a new contract next year, a multi-year contract with some team. The 49ers put him right back in the starting lineup, put him in the starting lineup over Jair Brown. What Kyle Shanahan said was they felt like Malik Mustafa, the rookie, earned that starting role. And so they were good with that of, basically demoting Jair Brown to bring Hufanga back. And I think Hufanga made an impact in that game against the Bears. Granted, it was against the Bears. They're not the best team in the world. In fact, they're far from it. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL. But it looked like Hufanga's return to the lineup did give the 49ers a spark. Well, that's what they're looking for from Dre Greenlaw. Kind of a position that has been an issue with the team. They're getting him back. So what can you expect from Greenlaw? My thought is if he's cleared to play, he's playing. And he's playing every snap. And so would not be at all surprised if Dre Greenlaw is in fact cleared. They wanted to see him through a week of practice. Now, granted, it's just walkthrough practices, so I think that decision has already been made whether to play him or not. But I think that with Greenlaw, it's going to be Greenlaw and Warner lining up. The 49ers have shown time and time again there's no easing these guys back in. The easing of the guys back in is during the weeks of practice. And if a guy is okayed, cleared to play in a game, he's going to step in and he's going to get his normal amount of playing time. So more than likely, that means either Devondre Campbell or D Winters goes back to just third down player. I'm sorry, just a base player off the field on third downs. And Greenlaw and Warner, their ability to play sideline to sideline, their interchangeable ability to cover backs out of the backfield and tight ends, that's going to be big for the 49ers, a big influx. So, ordinarily I might say, well, don't expect too much out of a guy coming back off an injury. Um, in this case, I'd say expect Dre Greenlaw to be Dre Greenlaw and expect him to make an impact on Thursday night if, in fact, he plays against the Rams, because he's going to be wanting to show that he is in midseason form. He told me in the offseason, he said he's not coming back until he knows he can be an impactful player and play at the same level that he expects out of himself as he looks to either convince the 49ers that he's worthy of another deal or some other team. And we know that there are plenty of 49er influences out there. I'm thinking about the Houston Texans with D'Amico Ryans. I'm thinking about the Washington Commanders with Adam Peters. Guys who know Dre Greenlaw, guys who respect him, and guys who might be very interested in bringing him to their team. Well, this is the first opportunity that Dre Greenlaw has since the first quarter of the Super Bowl to show that he is back and he can be a difference maker on this defense or any defense around the NFL. All right, that's my take on Dre Greenlaw and what to expect from him on Thursday night. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe, like, comment, and that is it for now.